clerk to call roll.
Sounds like it's
Councilwoman Perkins Auguste, Councilman Torres,
Here.
Councilman Gonzalez, Councilman Keenan, Councilman Sedano, Councilman Gorman,
Here.
Councilman Mazza,
Here.
President Pro Tem Cuesta.
Here. It's a regular conference of the City Council incorporated the annual notice, meeting notice of 2013, which was filed in the city clerk's office and posted on the bulletin board on December 27, 2013, and sent to the Star Ledger and Home News Tribune in compliance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law of New Jersey. I need a motion to go into private session.
So moved, Mr. President.
Okay. Councilman Torres,
Aye.
Councilman Keenan,
Aye.
Councilman Sedano,
Aye.
Councilman Gorman,
Aye.
Councilman Mazza,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Cuesta.
Aye. You need to state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes. And I would ask you not to make any derogatory or offensive remarks against any employee. I reviewed the code before I came today because I've been president before, twice actually. But I wanted to make sure that I play it by the book 100%. And you have a right to speak, but you do not have a right to be offensive, especially to individuals who are not here. So, go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, yes, and normally, so I would say 8:20. By 8:20, public speaking will be over, usually it's 30 minutes.
My name is Jennifer Arteta. I live in 15 Dayton Street. Last week I gave the city council like a pamphlet, a booklet, and some statistics on other shelters that have made improvements in their shelters. I don't know if any of you went over that to try to implement some changes. Right now we've been pulling out dogs from the shelter, and they're awesome dogs. I've actually met 2 of them. Hope, she was going to get euthanized this Thursday morning. I met with her today, and she is such a beautiful dog. I don't know why anybody would want to put this dog down. And as far as the investigation, I was supposed to meet with the law department on Friday, and I got a voicemail saying that they canceled my appointment and that the investigation was suspended. So I don't know if the investigation is in fact suspended. I need some answers. I still haven't had a
Well, let
proof that my dog
me
is
just
dead.
address the point. I don't want to cut into your time. The
Okay.
investigation is over. But as you said, the law department did reach out to you and they want to meet with you. So I think I would prefer that they explain to you, the outcome of the investigation. But the investigation is over. Yes, it is over as of now.
Okay,
Because the investigation primarily was focused on the 2 dogs that you lost. That was the investigation. The investigation is over.
Okay. Because they told me that it wasn't. They told me that it was, and then I emailed them trying to confirm that it was, and then they emailed me back saying that it wasn't suspended. So there's confusion here.
I
don't-
appreciate that. It was a misunderstanding. I appreciate that. It's true. You were told one thing and something else was happening. I got involved because I knew I was going to be running the meeting today because the president is on vacation. So I really wanted to be informed. And so I met with several people yesterday, and the decision was made that the investigation was over.
Wait, is there
So
gonna-
now it's official. I can tell you that officially that investigation you requested
Is there going to be
is over.
changes? Am I going to know? Is there going to be any changes? Anything implemented to change the shelter? It can't stay like this.
Well, not to change the shelter. Remember, the investigation began because of the allegations you made about your 2 dogs.
Okay.
That's why the investigation began.
Okay.
And other issues came up, not only during your presentation, but when other speakers were here addressed City Council, other issues came up about employees, about not following certain rules, etc. And what I can tell you, for example, just to get it out of the way, about employees, we are not supposed to discuss employees because that's really, most of the time, a confidential issue. So I'm not going to be discussing employees where they're going to be fired or terminated or punished, so that I cannot get into.
This is why my dogs died, because the rules weren't followed
Well-
by these people. It prolonged, and this was let to happen, and now my dogs are dead because of
Okay,
it.
remember, you have 3 minutes, but since you, I want to give you the answer. though. I want to make a statement though.
Okay. go ahead.
One thing I'm only going to say about the investigation, and I'm not going to say much, because if this matter ends in litigation, I don't want to discuss too much openly. The fact of the matter is that it could be argued that mistakes were made, and I can assure you that the director is going to correct all those mistakes. There was a question about the 7-day waiting period. Absolutely right. That's something that we should follow. And it's something that we're looking into. But just to give you an example, just to make you think a little bit perhaps about this issue. Right now at the center, we have a dog that is dying, has cancer, and it's going to die. It's been there for 2 days and is suffering. And yet, because of this rule, we cannot put him to sleep. We cannot put him to rest. So the statute, excuse me. So the statute, if we enforce it, literally, those are some of the things that happen. So definitely, there's a concern about whether the statute was enforced or not, and that's one of the things that the director is clearly going to correct.
Who's the vet that works at the shelter? You can't disclose that?
I'm sorry?
The vet that goes into the shelter and
I don't know the name, but I don't know the name, but I did find out.
The statute states also if a dog is also terminally ill and needs to be put down, the vet can come in and examine it, and then in fact, with the director and the vet present, they can put down the dog safely because it is ill. My dogs were not ill.
Right. Well, I found out about the situation today, and the supervisor was looking into it. So perhaps as we speak, he already made that connection and that decision. Maybe by tomorrow the dog will be put down. I don't know. I'm just giving you an example. My point was that based on what you and others have said, okay, the supervisor down there is trying to strictly follow the rule, and that's what he's doing.
Okay, and what about volunteers? Because there's a lot of people that want to volunteer and help these dogs out.
All right, let me make one more comment, then I'll listen to another speaker because you're going over your time. But volunteer, sure, there are people who want to volunteer. But I think the point should be made that the center in Elizabeth has an excellent working relationship with other agencies. You can disagree if you want to, but I know for a fact, Councilman Torres and I visited the center today, and I know for a fact in the past few days, more than 34 cats were given to another agency for adoption. So those things are happening. And I can tell you that the center has a very high rate of adoption for dogs. I can tell you that too. And that is factual. See, one of the issues here, don't interrupt me.
Show me the
Don't
facts.
interrupt me. Please don't interrupt me. Do not interrupt me. You do not have the floor. If anybody interrupts me again, I'm going to ask you to leave. One of the issues in this case, and I'm going to put it out there for everyone to hear, is that there have been exaggerations, there have been lies. We need to deal with facts. We need to deal with facts. We need to deal, for example, with the fact that your father took the dogs to this place.
Right.
And unfortunately, something happened that shouldn't have happened. But it's not that they were picked off the street and we're going to kill these dogs. It was taken there by your dad to this place, apparently from what I understand, because there were some issues with the dogs. So that we need to make clear.
What kind of issues?
Well, I don't know. Your dad took them there because he couldn't control them.
Okay,
That's
but
what
they were
it-
never
so-
aggressive.
Okay, you know what, I'm just saying that that's part of what we found. And so that has to be brought up because there are a lot of people out there, based on what you're saying, that are assuming that the dogs were killed for no reason, that the dogs were sold, that the dog this, so we need to get the facts straight. And we can disagree, but let's disagree on the facts, not on hearsay, not on, anyway, that's all I have to say. Anyone else would like to address the council?
Rosa Joseph, 843 Park Avenue.
Okay.
The reason why those dogs are coming out of there is because of us. We've been sending emails galore. The group I'm with have taken 6 dogs in the past month and a half.
Okay.
Lately, the last dog that came out today, the Brenda that was supposed to be put to sleep, we took her. That's the reason why dogs are coming out. Another thing why dogs might be coming out of there that are not through rescue groups is the fact that animal control gives dogs to anybody. Anybody that comes to the door without identification, they don't care who they give the dogs to. We know for a fact that dogs are ending up in the wrong hands. That's our concern. Another concern we
Been adopted by
have.
the wrong people, is that what you're saying?
Yes. Okay, we know that. There's dog fighting in Elizabeth. They're giving it to anyone because it's overcrowded, because we don't have a large enough facility to accommodate Elizabeth. That has to change. Dogs there in cats are not scanned for microchip. We taking dogs out, go to the vet, scan it, microchip. Why? That's by law, they're supposed to be doing it.
I understand they are.
They're not.
I was there today, the supervisor assured, Councilman Torres, correct me if I'm
Really?
wrong.
That's
He
interesting.
assured us, we saw the
Now-
equipment.
Does it work? See, this is the thing. These guys are, I'm sorry, but it's the truth. We know for a fact they're afraid of dogs. So they're not gonna scan, unless you get them in there right away when they bring them in, they're not gonna scan them. Another thing, let me show you the picture of one of the animal control officers. We wanted pictures of a couple of dogs that needed to come out, okay? And one of the volunteers asked them, because this woman with another rescue is in good standing with animal control. That's why a lot of rescues don't wanna speak out against them, because then we're gonna be banned. I'm sure I'm not welcome there anymore. That's the problem, that we cannot help these animals. But we've been going crazy, we've taken so many dogs out of there. The chocolate lab is gone, the Shih Tzu is gone. There are another group probably taking 2 more pit bulls from there. We took the pit bulls all because of rescue groups, has nothing to do with those guys. They don't advocate adoption. People don't even, some people don't even
And how come
know.
the rate is so high?
They're lying in the books, you don't understand
The
that.
line on the books.
Yes. It's very easy to write down something and kill an animal. Very easy. The books are cooked all the time, and I know this because all animal control officers have told me it's very easy to lie in the book. You don't have any idea. I know you have this. You believe what they tell you, but we know. I'm with the rescue for 15 years. I've heard stories from other rescues that don't want to speak out because they will be banned from going in there. The president of my group yelled at me for doing this because she's been taken from Elizabeth for over 20 years. And she fears that she's not going to be allowed in there anymore. That's the reality. This is the world we live in. You know, this is the picture that he decided to take. Is this an adoptable dog picture? And this is a super friendly dog. And I can show you
Right.
on Facebook the picture that was taken today when she came out.
Is that Hope? Is that Hope?
That's Hope.
Oh yeah, I have her.
She saw her. It's just, they're not willing to work, and that's okay. We don't want them to work any harder. We want to do the work. We want to volunteer taking pictures. We've been cross-posting the animals like crazy. We have volunteers today. Yesterday we had 6 people volunteering to take Hope from the shelter and take her to our vet, because I work full-time.
Right.
6 people willing to do that for us. They're the same people willing to walk the dogs. We're willing to, create a Facebook page, and we actually are going to create a Facebook page called.
We have
Friends-
created a website, by the way. We are doing a website. And you have access to it, you'll be able to duplicate things and do what, we are
But
doing
what
that.
is that going to be on the web? They're not going to put the dogs
Well,
on
the
there. I can tell
director
you
told
that.
me yesterday, and
Okay.
again this afternoon, that
Okay.
definitely something she's doing.
Okay.
And she'll be able to share the pictures with you, with anybody else you want. and
Wonderful.
That is
Because
factual, that's
we are going
happening.
to create a Facebook page
Good.
because we know a lot of people are on Facebook.
Okay,
And all rescues that we know are on Facebook.
all right, I need you, your time is
But so you
up.
know,
But I just want you to know we're doing that, so.
One dog that we took out a couple months ago, also again, microchip. 2 weeks ago, another rescue took a Shih Tzu from there, microchip. They don't check. These dogs from other towns are coming to Elizabeth. And people think that, oh, my dog is microchipped, therefore, when the shelter gets it, they're gonna scan it and call me. That's not happening. I get, it's.
Right, that's another issue that I
Okay,
was not.
but what do we do next? That's my question. If this has nothing to do, say, with that investigation,
Right.
what do we do
Well,
next?
there's other issues that need to be addressed.
Okay.
Most of them, except the one that you just mentioned, the director is aware of them, the administration is aware of them. We can bring this one to their attention also.
Because I called her and left her a message, and Mark Calicchio called me back,
Yeah.
and he was totally useless. But that's all I'm gonna say.
All right, thank you. Anyone else would like to address city council?
Yes, hi,
Yes.
I'm Barbara Greco, I live on 71030 Avenue.
What was your name again?
I'm Barbara Greco.
Okay.
My purpose here is I want to volunteer, I spoke with them, I go to the shelter. They had told me, see if I can sign a waiver to volunteer.
Right.
Clean the cat cages, walk the dogs, I don't live far from there. They get a baby, I can take the baby out, feed it. That's my purpose. If we can have that, we can save a lot of lives. There are cat people who do come and get the cats, I know that, because I've worked
Right.
with them and I traffic with them. But we need volunteers desperately, and we're willing to sign a waiver at our own risk. I mean, I got bit, scratched, you name it, from animals on the outside. And I never, when I went to the doctors, I wouldn't even tell them who the animal was.
Yeah,
I would
I-
not sue.
Let me just address this briefly because at every meeting it comes up. Not everyone agrees with me with this issue. I believe in volunteers. I believe in that I did it in the school system where I was an administrator for more than 30 years. But you have to do it carefully, and you have to have a system in place. You can't just, like, I think it was last week, someone said here, at a regular meeting, there were like 10 people sitting down and said, all these are volunteers. Well, yeah, but we don't know who they are. In other words, it has to be a system, like you, for example, you're being specific about what you want to do. It's something I would definitely recommend we look into it. You're specifying what it is that you want to help with. In my opinion, it's doable, it's possible, but I will not be ultimately making that decision.
Right, no, I
And it's
I know Gurley has
it's an
changed
issue
a
that
lot.
a lot of people
Okay.
don't agree with. I do.
I
I
mean-
believe in volunteers.
I know Director Gurley has changed a lot, because I know way back how it was. I mean, many, many years ago, when I lived in Peterstown, and it was horrible. I mean, it was horrible. I'm not saying anything that, but I know if I can get in here and volunteer, they need the volunteers here.
You have her name?
Yeah, Barbara Greco, yeah. I spoke to a few, they know I want to volunteer, they told me to put my name down.
If you want to say it in public, if you write down your phone number for me, I
Oh,
will
yeah,
repeat it.
it's 908, doesn't matter. 267-7606.
All right, thank you. Anyone else would like to listen to council?
Yes, good evening, Delia Collins, 72 Georgia Street, Clark, New Jersey. I just wanted to know, you're saying, I just want to get this straight so I get the information correctly out to the people that I need to.
Right.
So you're saying as of today, there's no further investigation into the conditions at the Elizabeth Shelter?
No, the investigation was primarily initiated because of the allegations by this young lady, by the two dogs.
Right,
That was the
but-
purpose of the investigation. What happened was subsequently, some of you, like yourself, came in and you made brought to our attention other concerns.
Right,
So those we're looking into, but that was not part of the investigation.
okay,
So for example, the concern that the shelter is not equipped to provide certain services, we're definitely looking into that. We're looking at the possibility of investing funds, not easy to do, as I'm sure you can appreciate, but we're considering all those things. In other words, that was one issue. What you're saying is a different issue.
That's what I'm
Concerns about the
asking.
shelter.
Is
Concerns
the-
about the shelter, whether the vet comes once a week just to euthanize animals, concern about people who want to volunteer, all those other issues, we don't have to investigate, all those other issues we are addressing. And the
Okay,
director is
so
addressing those issues.
Can I, in other words, the investigation
Yes,
is completed through your law department regarding Jennifer's issue with the
Correct.
euthanasia of her
Correct.
animals?
correct.
Okay, as far as the conditions, improvements, projections,
Yes.
volunteerism?
It's an ongoing thing, as I'm sure you
Okay.
can
And will
appreciate.
that
For
be
example, one of the
reported
things that he's not here, so I'm not gonna mention his name, but one of the things that the councilman recommended for now was to buy a temporary facility that at least would help us with some of the additional animals that come in, and that's something that's been considered. Obviously, it has to be cost effective. We're looking into it to see how much it will cost. Some of us have spoken to the director and to the administration in regard to that. So that's an option.
Right,
the
but is it
councilman
still
recommended.
ongoing?
I'm sorry?
Is it still ongoing? It's
Yes,
not-
oh,
okay.
absolutely.
Now.
In other words, next week I could tell you, we were able to find the money and we're gonna do it.
Okay.
Right now, I cannot tell you we
Right,
have.
because you haven't done your,
Well, not investigation, investigation is over. We've still
Her
assessed the
issue.
situation. Correct, her issue is over,
Okay.
from a legal point of view
but
from
I'm
us.
talking about the issues at the shelter.
We're
still
we're addressing
ongoing.
those issues.
Okay.
We know there's a lack of space, that kind of thing.
Okay,
You also had concerns about personnel. Believe me, I know Councilman Torres and I have done this. We have addressed that issue, and we continue to do so. But that's not something I can give you an answer now, because like I said before, that's really a
Okay.
matter for
because it
someone else
was
to do it.
unclear, it was unclear today as to, when it was posted out, it was suspended, the
Uh-huh.
investigation.
Right.
Some of us were concerned that it meant that the whole
No, not the whole thing,
investigation
absolutely not.
of the
I can
system-
promise you personally that all the other issues will continue to be addressed as expeditiously as possible.
Okay. Now, can I ask a question? I'm not familiar with your Elizabeth, the city running of Elizabeth. Is your health department part of your city's administration, or is it overseen by the Department of Health of New Jersey?
Well, we
Who
do,
does your
the
Department of
Department of New
Health-
Jersey has jurisdiction over all the other departments, but yes, it's part of the city.
Okay, all right, because in some towns, the health director reports directly to the Department of Health, and the
Right.
mayor and the council have not much to,
No, not here.
okay, all right, thank you very much.
Okay, anyone else? We got 5 more minutes.
it would be great that we can get volunteers if they do have a building, and we could paint and we can do things, so it'll be less cost effective.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
You know?
Anyone else like to address city council?
I'm sorry.
Oh, fine, let them finish and then,
Yeah, that's the same thing they did in Union, by the way, the Union Shelter. A couple weeks ago, they had all volunteers from the town
okay.
come in and paint.
Well, like one day type of thing come in and do
Oh, they
something?
did a whole thing. It's
I think that's a great
fantastic.
idea.
They're talking about business people coming in there.
I think that's a great
And
idea.
One
I will be in
suggestion,
favor of that.
please. I want you guys to really go to Union. And it's also a small shelter with a big city, but people there do wonderful jobs. They are constantly posting, found this dog in such and such a place. We cross-post the animal. The owner sometimes is found in another city. They do wonderful work. Just look into them because
I have a lot of friends in Union. I will stop by.
Oh, good, because
I will
I can
stop by.
tell you things and you're not really gonna believe me unless it comes from another facility.
No, I will
like-
stop by. I will
Okay,
stop by.
so please do that.
I will. Anybody else would like to address city
I have a
council?
question. Is there like a report on like the investigation? Like
Well,
an official
I think
report?
that what I prefer, hold on, what I prefer is that you were gonna meet with the attorneys.
No, yeah.
So talk to them and then they'll explain to you what,
Right.
because it's a legal matter, I don't want to discuss it in public, we're on TV actually.
No, I was just
Let them
asking
explain
if
to
there
you.
was, so that I can just,
They will explain to you exactly what, I'm sure that they'll satisfy all the questions. Councilman Torres?
Yes, Mr. President, thank you. I've been communicating with Rosa through phone, through emails. I have a question. When was the last time you personally visited the center?
It was about maybe 4 months ago.
4 months
Yeah, we
ago?
took a dog that was very ill. They thought that his back was broken.
Okay.
we-
Were you
we
met
sent-
with resistance? I'm just
No,
trying to,
because they
you
expected
have.
they expected me to, I wasn't talking like I am now.
Okay, no, and I don't think you should hold your tongue.
No, but it is, that's what we deal with every day. And the last thing I want to do is jeopardize the animals that we could be helping. We've done wonderful work in the last couple of
Correct,
weeks.
you have our attention, the
Okay.
city council is definitely concerned. So actually, I did go there, I didn't know Mr. Cuesta went there after me, but
Okay.
I did have my list of questions. I do have pictures of the scanner working, but now it came to my attention that they don't check. Even though the scanner's working, you're saying that they're not checking.
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, all we want ultimately is a no-pill shelter, and it can happen. Because you have very passionate people who really love these animals. When you have that passion, you can make things happen. We've seen it in a couple weeks. That's all we want.
Well, I went there today and
Okay.
they have, right now they have 13 dogs and 3 cats there.
13 dogs.
13 dollars.
13 dogs there.
I
13
know.
dogs. And some of the dogs been there, and I had the
Well, we
date, I
got-
took the picture
we got
of the
the
little
chi-
tag.
We got the Brindle pit bull out today. What
Okay.
time do you go?
I went there around 2:30.
Okay, she might still could have been there already.
Okay.
We
Now,
got
when
her
you
out.
went in today, did they,
Well,
were
she
you
didn't go
met-
in there. Somebody else went to
Somebody
get her.
else went? I
We
just
had a
wanted to
volunteer
know
pick up the dog.
if you were met with resistance also, because that's one of
No,
my
no,
issues
we-
that you guys brought to me, so I said,
No,
if
we
someone
said-
comes here,
Yeah.
Okay.
We sent somebody who was neutral to pick up the dog. We want to make sure she came out.
And I did check that, the last time,
Okay.
I forgot who said it, but they said you can't get no one by phone, the voicemail doesn't work. There is a number, I called
Okay.
the person, there is a voicemail on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're calling you back,
No,
but they
no.
do have a voicemail.
It just rings and, hopefully they phone.
I'm sure things are going to get better. I know
Right.
that because you guys are involved and they're in the spotlight.
Trust me, we're doing the best we can.
I
Let
know.
me just something personal, I think Councilman Massa, you want to speak? Give me a second, Frank, I don't want to forget this, because I don't want to, I want to convey the right message, I know that,
I just want to give them the number, if we have the same number.
go right ahead.
The actual number is 820-4242, is that the
Yes.
number you guys are
Yeah,
calling?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But the voicemail, it actually does work, because I was actually there. But again, we hear you, we're concerned, we went there, like the president said, it's a small shelter,
Yeah.
we're trying to get money.
Yeah, we got our-
We actually walked outside to see if we can expand it.
Can it be done there or someplace else though? I mean, I don't know if you've
It's
done.
not a great location,
No, it's not.
it's hidden in the back with recycling, so
Right.
we're all concerned.
Right.
All right, so let me just make a statement before I know a couple
Sure.
of councilmen want to say something, and we got to move on because we have a big agenda today. But just for the record, because sometimes, we don't know each other that well, whatever, but my family had 2 cats. One of them died a while ago, And I can tell you that everyone cried in my family, including me. The second one that's doing well, but 3 years ago needed surgery. The surgery was $5,000. And my wife said, we have to do it.
Yep.
The cat is doing extremely well nowadays, and we call him the $5,000 cat. So I mean, you're talking to someone who actually loves animals too and wants the best. I want the best for the shelter, and I want to emphasize also, and not that I need to take credit for this or anything, but months ago, before any of you started coming here with complaints or allegations, months ago, I visited the shelter, I had concerns, and I met with the director and the mayor to express my concerns. Because there were things that I didn't necessarily like, and I said, we need to change certain things, and I met with them. So not yesterday or this morning or this afternoon when I went to the shelter, for example, the first time that I visited. I've been doing this for the past few months before I met any of you. Councilman Mazza.
Yeah, Mr. President, I heard everything you say, and also the people that came here once again tonight. A couple of days ago, I was very upset by seeing on some of the polls in my ward that they complained to your councilman they're killing animals in Elizabeth. I find that very offensive because at the time that I read these flyers on a poll, whoever the agency was doing that, I was still presumably that the director of our law department was doing an investigation. And just 3 days before, I think either Thursday or Friday, I came into City Hall to do something, and I saw the director, and I questioned the director. I said, Director, how are we doing with the investigation? He says, we're still working on it. And he couldn't tell me more than that. And at the end, I could understand the young lady apparently might be lost to Rocky or whatever. And still today, I'm one councilman. I don't know what is the outcoming of the study or the investigation that was done by the law department. He is preview because he's acting as a president, but I don't know the facts, and I didn't get a record. I didn't get anything, Francisco. But I do believe that if we have to put people inside, personally, with my personal knowledge, you have to have a liability concern. We can't just hire you, Barbara.
Right, yeah.
I know you very well in taking care of the animal because I see in my neighborhood. But we have to have you, for instance, either a certificate or an
Right.
indemnity or whatever. Things must be going to perspective. That's what I could see. We could do this for the future. It's not going to happen overnight. We have to allocate money inside the budget or take it from Peter and give it to Paul. And then at the end, we could implement any rules and regulations that the state puts in the city of Elizabeth. But to hear that in Elizabeth, without further conclusion from the law department that those animals were actually killed by our employee, that's not a serious accusation to make until the study was completed and was reported to City Council, and that could become public record. So whoever's doing those flyers around Elizabeth, you're a little bit proactive before the time. So wait for the time, and then we'll see. Whenever we have to get the report from Cisco,
Yes.
I am also in favor, like you say, you love animals, I love animals, cats, any kind. But as long as sometimes the landlord or the owner, they know how to maintain them clean and do the right job according to what the code wants to preserve the animal. So we have to wait and see, and I'm one councilman to be in favor, if it need to be, to get some money from Peter and give it to Paul in order to maintain or do a better place for a shelter or a different location or whatever, as the councilman mentioned.
All right, Councilman, thank you. Councilman Keenan, you have something to?
No,
All right, so then we're going to close public speaking, and we're going to, anyone else? There was no one else, right? I should say 15. All right, public speaking is closed. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, please keep me in mind. Okay. You, Frank.
All right, thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, good night, good night. See you, Frank. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Letter dated June 27, 2014, from His Honored Mayor, subject to confirmation, advice, and consent, is hereby reappointing Candido Rodriguez Jr. Esquire and Deanna Hernandez Rodriguez Esquire. Where's it at? Elizabeth, New Jersey. Shanae McKay Odoms Esquire, Scotch Plains. Deirdre M. Mason Esquire, Scotch Plains. Celeste Dudley Smith Esquire, Union. Nuno Afonso Esquire, Jubilio L. Afonso Esquire, Elizabeth, Lyndall Scott Foster Esquire, Elizabeth, Maria M. Diaz, Attorney at Law, Elizabeth, to serve as municipal public defenders for the municipal court for the period covering July 1, 2014 to June 30, 2015, at a rate of $300 per session for a total amount not to exceed $140,000. Candido Rodriguez Esquire shall be designated Chief Municipal Public Defender at the additional compensation of $5,000.
Any questions? We're done.
Letter dated June 27, 2014, from the Business Administrator recommending awarding a contract to Motorola Communications and Electronics, Inc., Wharton, New Jersey, for the purchase of communications equipment and accessories for various departments for the period May 31, 2014 through June 30, 2015, at a cost not to exceed $30,000.
Any questions?
Letter dated June 27, 2014, from the Business Administrator, requesting authorization for the proper city officials to execute an agreement with the Elizabeth Parking Authority for the rental of 25 parking spaces in lot number 6 and 300 parking spaces in lot number 2 at a rate of $25 per parking space per month for a period of 1 year, effective July 1, 2014 through June 30, 2015. Total monthly cost will be $8,125 or $97,500 for 1 year.
Any questions?
Letter dated June 27, 2014, from the Business Administrator, requesting authorization for the proper city officials to award the policy of insurance to New York Marine and General Insurance Company, Midlands Management Corp., Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, through the agent of record, Sirocco Group, to obtain excess insurance on workers' compensation coverage and excess general liability insurance for the period July 1, 2014 to June 30, 2015, at an annual premium of $232,448. Letter dated June 27, 2014, from the Business Administrator, requesting authorization for the proper city officials to execute a contract with Kane University Union for computer consulting services for a 1-year period, commencing July 1, 2014 to June 30, 2015, at a cost not to exceed $50,500.
The last year I asked the same question. I was wondering, maybe Tony knows, this contract with Kane, which I have no problem with, but who exactly is doing the work? Who is doing the,
I don't have the exact names, but this contract's been ongoing for years with Kane University. These are specialists
No, I know.
in data processing. They just, I can get you the names.
I'm just
And the
curious as
background.
to what, yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I want
sure.
a little bit more information. We're gonna put it up, but I want a little bit more info if possible.
Yeah, you're obviously technically proficient, and they've been doing it for years coming
Okay.
in and this day. But I will get you the names.
All right, thanks.
Mr. President?
Yes.
On the same subject,
Uh-huh.
Tony, can you let me know exactly how many years we'll be going with the same contract? And why this cannot be described by written specification because of the special nature of the service to be provided?
Well,
I'm trying to read all this, and apparently, I don't know, whether the third or the fourth year that we've been paying of
yeah, they have
$50,000.
the scope of services on the page.
Right.
Yeah, and what was the question now? I think it's
How many years we already, we working with Kane University?
Oh, yeah, we'll get that, the
Please,
names
thank
and the titles
Whatever.
and the background.
You get it by the end of the month when we have the regular meeting?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that don't get called.
Thanks.
I know they've been very helpful, but it's good to know which direction we're going to be going.
Letter dated June 27, 2014, from the Business Administrator, requesting authorization for the proper city officials to execute an indemnification agreement with the Elizabeth Board of Education, covering the city's utilization of their facilities during the 2014-2015 fiscal year.
Any questions? Put down.
Letter dated June 27, 2014, from the Business Administrator, requesting authorization for the proper city officials to award a contract to William H. Malone Jr., Elizabeth, to provide insurance management consulting services for the period July 1, 2014 to June 30, 2015, for a flat fee of $25,000. Letter dated June 27, 2014, from the Business Administrator, recommending awarding a contract to Horizon Healthcare Dental Services, Farmingdale, New Jersey, to provide a dental insurance program for a 2-year term in a total amount not to exceed $925,000 per year, or a total amount not to exceed $1,850,000.
Any questions?
Letter dated June 27, 2014, from the Business Administrator, recommending awarding a professional service contract to Dr. Michael R. Zabosky, Elizabeth, as the Elizabeth Police Department's physician for the period July 1, 2014 to June 30, 2015, at a total fee not to exceed $20,000. Letter dated June 27, 2014, from the Business Administrator, recommending awarding a contract to Route 23 Auto Mall, Butler, New Jersey, for auto parts for light-duty vehicles, including but not limited to brakes, engine parts, and filters for various departments, for the period June 24, 2014 through June 25, 2015, at a cost not to exceed $30,000.
Any questions?
Letter dated June 27, 2014, from the Business Administrator, recommending awarding a contract to Store Tractor Company, Branchburg, New Jersey, for the purchase of parts and repairs for lawn and grounds equipment for various departments for the period June 24, 2014 through June 28, 2015, at a cost not to exceed $100,000. Letter dated June 27, 2014, from the Business Administrator, recommending awarding a contract to Malaford Lincoln Mercury, North Brunswick, New Jersey, for auto parts for light-duty vehicles, including but not limited to brakes, engine parts, and filters for various departments, for the period June 24, 2014 through June 25, 2015, at a cost not to exceed $50,000.
Questions?
Letter dated June 30, 2014, from the Business Administrator, recommending awarding a contract to Qual Links, Piscataway, New Jersey, for the administration of the city's third-party administration of the Workers' Compensation and Auto Liability Property Program for the period August 1, 2014 through July 31, 2017, in the amount of $190,000 per year. Letter dated June 30, 2014, from the Business Administrator, recommending awarding a contract to FDCJ LLC, trading as Flemington Dodge Chrysler, Flemington, New Jersey, for auto parts and accessories for light-duty vehicles, including but not limited to brakes, rotors, and water pumps for various departments for the period June 24, 2014 through June 25, 2015, at a cost not to exceed $30,000. Letter dated June 30, 2014, from the Business Administrator, recommending awarding a contract to AAM Motor Sales, doing business as Jersey City Ford, Jersey City, New Jersey, for auto parts and accessories for light-duty vehicles, including but not limited to brakes, spark plugs, and filters for various departments, for the period June 24, 2014 through June 25, 2015, at a cost not to exceed $50,000. Letter dated June 30, 2014, from the Business Administrator, recommending awarding a contract to Old Dominion Brush Company, Richmond, Virginia, for the purchase of parts and repairs for road maintenance equipment for the period June 25, 2014 through June 25, 2016, at a cost not to exceed $150,000. Letter dated June 30, 2014, from the Business Administrator, recommending awarding a contract to Cherry Valley Tractor Sales, Marlton, New Jersey, for the purchase of parts and repairs for lawn and grounds equipment for various departments for the period June 24, 2014 through June 28, 2015, at a cost not to exceed $50,000. Letter dated June 27, 2014, from the Business Administrator, requesting authorization for the proper city officials to execute a contract with Discovery Benefits of Fargo, North Dakota, to provide COBRA administrative services for the period July 1, 2014 to July 1, 2017, at a fee of $4.50 for enrollment per beneficiary and $1,000 minimum annual service fee. Letter dated July 1, 2014, from the Business Administrator on behalf of the Historic Midtown Elizabeth Special Improvement District, requesting approval from your honorable body to conduct the festival and car show on Saturday, August 16, 2014, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., with a rain date Sunday, August 17, 2014, subject to the listed conditions.
Any questions? Okay, put it up.
Letter dated July 1, 2014, from the Business Administrator, requesting that your honorable body adopt the amended and restated redevelopment agreement for the conveyance of land to the developer for the construction of a supermarket and retail establishments in the Trumbull Street redevelopment area in the city of Elizabeth, between the city and East Grand Associates Urban Renewal Entity LLC, a New Jersey limited liability company, and urban renewal entity, care of Jacobs Enterprises, Inc., 1051 Bloomfield Avenue, Clifton, New Jersey.
Any questions?
Mr. President?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. President, as you know, I've been fighting very hard trying to obtain a supermarket in that area.
Yes.
It's an area, the old, I used to like to call it the old bus terminal there for many years. Piece of property has been idle, and I think this would be a much improvement in that area for the supermarket and small retails. I know that people in the surrounding area would really is up in arms and can't wait for we put a shovel in the ground and say, hey, hallelujah, let's build a supermarket. So I want to just commend the administration for working very hard, closely with the mayor and the BA, trying to put this together. We're very close, and I might be dotting the I and crossing the T by September 1st. So if we can keep that target
Sounds good,
date
Captain.
in mind, I'm going to be very happy, and I ask you, each one of you, my colleagues, would support this resolution. Thank you, Mr. President.
Good job. Councilman, thank you.
Letter dated July 1, 2014, from the City Attorney, recommending the renewal of the contract with the Court Bundy, Varady, and Kinsella, Union, New Jersey, to provide legal services to the city in defense of civil litigation in auto general liability cases and matters included within the city's self-insurance program for the fiscal year July 1, 2014 to June 30, 2015, in an amount not to exceed $450,000, except as specifically authorized by resolution of City Council. Letter dated July 1, 2014, from the City Attorney, recommending the renewal of the contract with LaPorte, Bundy, Varady, and Kinsella, Union, New Jersey, to provide legal services to the city in the defense of workers' compensation cases and matters included within the city's partial self-insurance program for the fiscal year July 1, 2014 to June 30, 2015, in an amount not to exceed $150,000, except as specifically authorized by resolution of City Council. Letter dated July 1, 2014, from the City Attorney, recommending awarding contracts to Edward J. Colochi Esquire and Michael S. Simmons Esquire, Linden, Edwin R. Matthews Esquire, Summit, Robert F. Bernard Esquire, Cranford, New Jersey, Peter H. Spade Esquire, Manasquan, New Jersey, Guy P. Ryan Esquire, Toms River, New Jersey, Craig M. Dowd Esquire, Woodland Park, New Jersey, Alan C. Roth Esquire, Springfield, New Jersey, Daniel Antonelli Esquire, Union, New Jersey, Janice M. Wilson Esquire, Westfield, Raymond S. Londa Esquire, Elizabeth, Floria, and Kenny LLP, Hoboken, New Jersey, for legal representation and litigation at the same rates as the LaPorte, Bundy, Varady, and Kinsella contract with an hourly rate of $175 and with a cap of $65,000 for the period July 1, 2014 to June 30, 2015. Letter dated July 1, 2014 from Chief Financial Officer advising that transfers for the 2014 state fiscal year municipal and sewer utility budgets may be necessary. Letter dated July 1, 2014 from Chief Financial Officer advising that temporary emergency appropriations for the 2015 state fiscal year municipal and sewer utility budget may be necessary. Letter dated July 1, 2014 from Chief Financial Officer requesting that your honorable body consider the approval of a bond ordinance authorizing the installation of traffic lights and road resurfacing at the intersections of East Jersey Street, at Winfield Scott Plaza, and at the intersection of Jackson Avenue, at Monroe Avenue, Anna Street, in the amount of $1 million with a down payment of $50,000. Letter dated July 1, 2014 from Chief Financial Officer requesting that your honorable body consider amending bond ordinance number 3778, MAC building renovations, and to reappropriate $1,100,000 of available funds no longer required in order to provide a bond ordinance to pay the cost of demolition of the MAC building and park improvement to the property and other. Letter dated July 1, 2014 from Chief Financial Officer requesting that your honorable body consider the approval of a capital ordinance that would authorize the purchase and installation of a new phone system in the amount of $750,000. Letter dated July...
President,
Yes, sir.
and this $950,000 new phone, not too long ago, we went to a change.
The 750, I mean?
750.
The 750, you mean?
Right.
I'm sorry, Councilman, what's the question?
My question is, do we really have to go through this kind of expenditure for the future? I mean, we just changed this not too long ago.
No,
I prefer
the
Tony to answer,
recent
but-
change was the Motorola. That was for the police and fire communication system. That's different than the telephone system.
Right, but we,
Okay, but this
It's a separate system,
is
yeah.
a separate system. This entails City Hall, Police Department, Fire, but it's the regular telephone type of system. The other one that we approved for the Motorola, which is a 4-year lease at about $900,000 a year, is for public safety type of communication.
we trying to make an improvement because sometimes when you call City Hall, you don't get across the line because of difficulty with the present line, or because you gotta get a better.
I think the system is just antiquated. Again, no parts probably, and just more modern features and that type of thing. And from what I understand, if nothing goes out, it's going to be very
Disaster.
painful
Okay.
to the city. So they went through an evaluation.
So Tony, it's a must that we're gonna go through this.
Yeah, that's what.
All right, Councilman?
Thank you, Mr.
All right,
President.
thank you.
Letter dated July 1, 2014 from Chief Financial Officer requesting authorization for the proper city officials to enter into a contract for this 2015 state fiscal year with Blau & Blau, Springfield, New Jersey, to be the primary legal representative of the city in all matters relating to tax appeals, including preparation for trials, discovery of motions, and the appearance at trials and other court appearances pertaining to tax appeals at the Union County Tax Board and New Jersey Tax Court and other venues for an amount not to exceed $130,000. Letter dated July 1, 2014 from Chief Financial Officer requesting authorization for the proper city officials to enter into a contract for the 2015 state fiscal year with Takatis, Fitzpatrick & Cole LLP, Teaneck, New Jersey, to provide bond counsel services to the city in connection with the city's issuance of debt obligations and to provide for the terms and security of such obligations in accordance with the laws of the state of New Jersey for an amount not to exceed $60,000. Letter dated July 1, 2014, from Chief Financial Officer requesting authorization for the proper city officials to enter into a contract for the 2015 state fiscal year with Stack Coolhan and Stack LLC, Hoboken, New Jersey, to provide appraisal and consulting services to the city, including testimony and attendance at conferences scheduled by the court in connection with state tax court appeals in an amount not to exceed $78,000. Letter dated July 1, 2014, from Chief Financial Officer requesting authorization for the proper city officials to enter into a contract for the 2015 state fiscal year with Acacia Financial Group, Inc., Marlton, New Jersey, to provide financial advisory services to the city in connection with the city's issuance of municipal sewer utility debt obligations, including bonds and bond anticipation notes, and any other financial analysis deemed necessary, in an amount not to exceed $40,000. Letter dated July 1, 2014, from Chief Financial Officer requesting authorization for the proper city officials to enter into a contract for the 2015 state fiscal year with Powell Capital Markets, Inc., Roseland, New Jersey, to provide financial advisory services to the city in connection with the city's issuance of municipal and sewer utility debt obligations, including bonds and bond anticipation notes, and any other financial analysis deemed necessary, in an amount not to exceed $40,000. Letter dated July 1, 2014, from Chief Financial Officer requesting authorization for the proper city officials to enter into a contract for the 2015 state fiscal year with Lewis C. May, CPA and Associates, Kinnelon, New Jersey, to provide statutory audits of the general funds, sewer utility funds, other funds, the single audit, and also for 5-year comparative statements in an amount not to exceed $216,000. Letter dated July 1, 2014, from Chief Financial Officer advising that in compliance with the State Fiscal Year 2014 Appropriations Act, it requires your honorable body to approve all payments related to accumulated uncompensated absence benefits. Letter dated June 12, 2014, from the Director of Planning and Community Development requesting authorization for the proper city officials to execute any and all documents necessary and appropriate to provide a rental housing program deferred payment loan for the property located at 272 2nd Street in the amount of $360,000. Letter dated June 12, 2014, from the Director of Planning and Community Development requesting authorization for the proper city officials to execute any and all documents necessary and appropriate to provide a rental housing program deferred payment loan for the property located at 429 431 Jackson Avenue in the amount of $120,000. Letter dated June 27, 2014, from the Director of Planning and Community Development requesting authorization for the proper city officials to execute all agreements and documents necessary and appropriate for a community housing development organization grant for Y Homes, Inc. for operating expenses for the period July 1, 2013 through June 30, 2014 in the amount of $20,000. Now, this is a long one.
This one?
Yes, this is a long one. No, you got it.
Oh, this one?
Letter dated June 30, 2014, from the Director of Planning and Community Development, requesting authorization for the proper city officials to sign any and all documents necessary in connection with substantial amendments to the Home Investment Partnership Program for fiscal years 2011, 12, and 13 as follows. Fiscal year 2011, the City of Elizabeth Housing Authority was allocated $600,000 in rental housing program funds for a multi-building new construction project located in the Elizabeth Port and was unable to secure the necessary project financing. $300,000 will fund a change order in the existing Oaks at Westminster rehabilitation project located at 350 Irvington Avenue, and $300,000 will fund the rehabilitation of 5 units of a 6-unit building located at 272 2nd Street being developed by McGill Real Estate Holdings, LLC. Community Access Institute was allocated $198,791 for the rehabilitation of 4 rental units, but was unable to acquire the 4 units. So the entire amount will fund a change order in the existing Y Homes Inc. rehabilitation project located at 135 Madison Avenue. Fiscal year 2012, McGill Real Estate Holdings LLC was allocated $66,000 in rental housing program funds to rehabilitate 2 units in a 3-unit building. Developer was able to secure other governmental financing and asked that the award be lowered by $6,000 to $60,000. And the number of units created by lowered from 2 to 1. Community Investment Strategies, Inc. was allocated $221,877 for the rehabilitation of 12 units of a 60-unit building on the former Oakwood Plaza site. The entire $227,877 will be reallocated as follows. $60,000 will be used for the rehabilitation of the 6th unit of the 6-unit project located at 272 2nd Street, being developed by McGill Real Estate Holdings. $120,000 will be used to rehabilitate a 2-unit building at 429-431 Jackson Avenue, being developed by New Jersey Community Development Group. And $47,877 will be used to rehabilitate 1 of 2 units at 1011 Emma Street, being developed by New Jersey Community Development Group. Y Homes Inc. was allocated $109,575 for the rehabilitation of 4 rental units at their 135 Madison Avenue project. Funds were reallocated in 2011 for this project. They are no longer needed. $10,000 will be reallocated for Y Homes Inc. for a pre-development loan to help undertake a feasibility study for their next project. Remaining $99,575 remains uncommitted. Fiscal year 2013, the City of Elizabeth Housing Authority was allocated $471,844 in rental housing program funds for a new construction project located in Eport to create 8 assisted units in a 36-unit building. The Housing Authority was unable to secure the project financing. Funds shall be reallocated as follows. $399,721 will fund 7 units of a 60-unit building referred to as Parker's Walk, located on Parker Road, being developed by CIS Inc. $72,123 will fund the rehabilitation of the remaining 1 unit of the 2-unit building located at 1011 Emma Street. $40,000 was allocated towards the first-time homebuyer program, which was not utilized. $20,000 shall be reallocated to Y Homes Inc. for Community Housing Development Organization operating expenses.
Any questions? I think I have an understanding what's going on here. So your money that was not utilized for one project being transferred for another was needed. Okay, good enough.
Okay. Letter dated June 18, 2014, from the Director of Public Works requesting permission to have liens placed against properties listed on Schedule A attached for the removal and disposal of debris from said properties in the amount of $10,915.13. Letter dated June 23, 2014, from the Director of Public Works recommending awarding the contract to Johnson, Mir, Moran, and Thompson, Inc., Trenton, New Jersey, to provide professional engineering services in connection with the design and construction administration of the 2014 road resurfacing program at a cost not to exceed $159,000. Letter dated June 25, 2014, from the Director of Public Works requesting permission to have liens placed against properties listed on Schedule A attached here to in the amount of $1,837.33. Letter dated June 25, 2014, from the Director of Public Works requesting permission to have liens placed against properties listed on Schedule A attached in the amount of $3,079.94. Letter dated June 27, 2014, from the Director of Public Works recommending awarding a contract to CMS Construction, Inc., Newark, New Jersey, for the Elizabeth River Flood Control Project, levee maintenance contract, South Front Street to Trenton Avenue, at a cost of $1,181,505.
Questions?
Letter dated June 30, 2014, from the Director of Public Works requesting approval of contract amendment number 2 to the contract with Hatchmont McDonald, Iselin, New Jersey, to provide civil engineering services in connection with the Hurricane Sandy Disaster Recovery Public Assistance Program at an original cost of $75,000. To provide further for professional engineering services on a time and material basis for actual time and expenses spent at an additional cost not to exceed $80,000 plus reimbursable, which combined with previous contract amendment raises the contract to $275,000. Letter dated June 27, 2014, from the Director of Recreation requesting authorization for proper city officials to apply, accept, and assign all appropriate documents for the Union County Open Space Recreation and Historic Preservation Kids Recreation Trust Fund grant. Anticipated funding will place synthetic turf at Canal Field, continue to work with the Elizabeth Conservancy to complete the acquisition of land to construct an environmental education center on 3rd Avenue and Doyle Street for an amount not to exceed $600,000.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
I'm just happy to see that this is moving forward because I don't know if you're familiar, Canal Field is something that's I'm really interested in trying to turn into a synthetic turf area for soccer
Yes.
/ baseball. Some much needed for our youth. It's a good program and I'm thrilled to see it take place.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you.
Letter dated April 2nd, 2014, from Helen Hell Union on behalf of Fairmount Development Group, LLC, and Elizabeth Redevelopment Group, LLC. They're requesting the vacation of Henry Street in the area between Julia Street and Fairmount Avenue. And you have the city engineer's recommendation.
Is it?
That's it, that's the engineer. Letter dated June 26, 2014, from the city engineer on behalf of PSC&G, requesting authorization for proper city officials to enter into an access agreement with PSC&G to complete the surveys, wetland delineations, and test borings necessary for the design of repairs to their 30-inch gas pipeline facilities. Councilman Mazza has requested a handicap for Sharon V. Frazier on Rebecca Place. And the city treasurer is submitting the treasurer's report of receipts and disbursements for the month of February 2014 and statement of bank balances and investments as of February 28, 2014. And Councilman Mazza has given me 2 memorials, Felicia LaVecchia and Salvatore Mirabelli.
That's it? Okay, once around. Councilman Torres.
Just 2 things. I would like a traffic study on Trumbull and Dowd Avenue. I believe we should have a delayed light there. There's been many accidents. It's hard to explain, but it's a difficult situation. And I also just want to commend Mr. Mazza. I had the opportunity to attend St. Vito Fest.
Thank you.
One of the better events here held in the city. Had a lot of Italian food. They talked about Italian culture and history. I felt like I was in the movie The Bronx Tale. But, I think great job.
Thank you.
No Ferris wheel.
Thank
No.
you.
We kept the wall.
Anything else, Councilman?
That's it. Thank you.
All right, Councilman Keenan?
Pass.
Councilman Gollman?
Yes.
Councilman Mazza?
Yeah, Mr. President, I have a couple more items, but Number one, I became a grandfather again, so
Congratulations.
family, thank you.
Very good.
Number two, while I was spending time with my granddaughter in O'Brien Field, I tried to sneak through even though we didn't do any groundbreaking ceremony yet, but the grass is terrible.
Is it?
Terrible, terrible. They got sand to grow the grass, and the grass is almost destroyed, and we don't even receive that. I don't think we accept it yet, the field. And as I was going through the field, okay, maybe I'll show Mr. Goldman, being that he's an expert. This is my granddaughter going on the top of a small divisor from 2 years old. I'll put over here.
We lose the thing.
I know, right here, 1 second.
I can't touch, oh.
Right here.
Can I touch screen?
My granddaughter's trying to go on the top. If she would have fallen backward, there is a metal pole right behind.
Yeah, right behind here. Yeah, see.
I mean, we spent $300,000. I could put it back again, Mr. President. We need to correct this immediately.
Okay.
I mean, I'll show it to you because you're the president. And matter of fact, it's
Right.
right here. See, it's my granddaughter. 1 second. 1 second.
Yeah,
I see.
You know, you go up and then
Go down.
there's a metal right behind it. If my granddaughter or any other grandchild would have fallen on the back, would have hit the metal. It's a lawsuit immediately, and maybe they need to put some kind of a plastic or material
Councilman,
to.
you're right, it needs to be addressed.
We
We'll do
definitely-
that with the director
and,
tomorrow.
Also, I don't know if it's appropriate, but everybody was notified in my area around Bryan Field about a mega law. The mega law, that whatever, we have a very situation right by the park, right by the school. I have to review. But I'm the ward councilman. Was I supposed to receive something within the 50 feet from this area where somebody
Who made
lives?
the notification?
The Union County prosecutor,
They usually do it, Councilman, by address.
right.
So should they have notified you, I would say yes, as a courtesy, but normally so that you know they do it by address. And it depends on what tier it is, 1, 2, or 3.
It's a number 3 right now.
Number 3, I think you should be notified. I think that's
Absolutely.
something we should.
So I got something, 5, 6 lady came to knock on my door, councilman, blah, 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 in Spanish, whatever language that came to me. I called the director, and the director says, Council, I'm not aware, but I get back to you, but I'm sure it probably be from the prosecutor's office.
That's usually it comes from.
Now,
Comes directly from them.
according to some eyewitness person, this person on the picture is described as being very healthy, Bruno Sammartino, if you recall the
Yes.
wrestling.
Yes.
But if you see in person, it's a skinny than Popeye.
Okay.
So I think we should bring the right picture out to the community, so when people see, and if I see this person, I don't know, I tried to read the mega law, and the printing wasn't too legible for me, that when after I made a photograph. So that's one concern that we have. We need to address that, and I don't know, maybe Mr. Estrada, you're the law department, where should I go, the prosecutor's office, the
law department has nothing to do with Megan's law, so I would suggest go to the prosecutor's office.
okay, just to the prosecutor?
Councilman, I unfortunately have a lot of experience dealing with cases like that. If you want to, you and I can contact them and.
We should,
And I think
because
definitely they should. They should
It's a
inform.
very,
Yes.
very delicate situation in the last couple of days.
Yes.
That we need to address that, and then maybe we need to sit down with the Paul Odessa. I don't know whether they accept the grass needs to be cut. It's a brand new grass. It's a
Okay,
disgrace.
we're gonna deal with that tomorrow morning.
Can we do that for them?
Yes, we will.
And-
Tomorrow morning, I will reach out to him.
I really appreciate it because
Okay.
somebody should take a look at it and see what's happening. All right,
Anything
that's
else?
it. And then I have whatever Yolanda you mentioned. I had another gentleman which I called, what's his name? Your secretary downstairs today.
Mary? Mary?
No, the other one, the young one.
Grace.
Grace. Grace, Council, I'll call you right back. That this gentleman, I think we already voted, went through the process, and is still waiting for his handicap. That's your friend.
Oh, that's the one that we.
Right, and they went through, and the guy keeps calling me, I said, sir, it's out of my jurisdiction.
Yeah.
And today, if you don't mind, that the address is 566 First Avenue, can we put that handicap?
Please, because otherwise they're gonna be calling me too.
It's not for anything.
I know. Anything else, Councilman?
Thank you, that's it.
Today? And I have nothing to say, so. Good night,
Hallelujah.
everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.